I mean, please stop. Do 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 do. Hmm.
Uh,
Hello guys and
Are
welcome to
we
my
are
first.
we are we live? I can't tell if we're live.
and I haven't got any notification yet.
Oh, we are live. We is live. For some reason, it's almost like if I don't
My Nebulon bottom hairstyle.
have the comments don't work.
What?
Yeah, I don't know why. I noticed it a couple of times.
Let me see. Let me see.
The camera is hella zoomed out today.
I'm taking back. Let's see.
My guy, I didn't.
Is it gone? It's still there.
Wait, that's what you've been trying to do. I was like, what's this guy doing?
Oh, I see what they did.
You tried to see if it has gone
It's gone.
off.
I was trying to see like
Yeah, I was
I
looking.
have the eyebrows on. Wow, nice one, Zoom. For people that don't have eyebrows, they can have eyebrows.
You said
Hmm.
what?
For people that don't have eyebrows, they can actually have. Because Zoom has this. I don't even remember doing this though.
Wait, that have a filter on now.
Yeah, my eyebrows.
I was about to say, yeah, your eyebrows are they're on flick. Oh.
I should probably like leave it on. This looks like a woman's eyebrows though.
It does. Okay.
Look,
It looks like a shape thing. I've never had the eyebrows like shaping before.
nope, never done any of that.
You should. You should. It's nice actually.
Well, when I see someone that can do it properly, I'll try.
I mean, if your baba should do it. If you tell your baba to do it,
Do I look like someone that goes to the barber?
huh?
Technically,
Oh,
do I
that's
look
I
like
think
someone that
it
goes?
look like a more essentially.
See, like even when I was in Nigeria, like
I tell
when I
you,
was in mess, I used to tell people that my barber just went to jail, so just I mean,
Alpha.
I'm good though.
Even if you have any female friends, you should be able to.
I unfortunately don't have anything.
The babes that were in the Holy Ground video, God, you know your friends.
No comment.
What, what the hell was that long pause for?
I tried to find an answer, but yeah, the best answer was no
I
comment.
know your friends.
Comment. I refuse to answer the questions.
What kind of life are you living there? What's going on?
I'm living life in isolation right now. See, I've gone out of touch with how to communicate with females. It's terrible.
Trying to change the handle of this thing. Hope you weren't too busy or the assignment you were trying to get done.
No, I'm not busy. No, I'm still ideating right now. I have to do a couple of assignments. The workload is terrible. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
guy, you know what I'm happy for? I was thinking about it recently. What I'm happy for? I'm happy for the fact that even like since I finished school, it doesn't feel like I went from constantly having shit to do to looking for what to do or like having It doesn't feel like I went from constantly having shit to do to looking for what to do or not having anything to do.
Why did you say so?
Because I've just been busy. First, I've just been busy. Like even after school finished, it's almost like I just trying to just put in things, like just things being on my plate. The point where I have other things I have to do, do back time for. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's nice. That makes sense. That's nice. Well, school is keeping me busy, super busy. I have zero social life, I think. A lot of people complain that I don't call them. I don't reach out. It's bad. But, I mean, it's
reach out to anybody.
What?
You reach out to anybody. How do you feel when people? Because honestly, I'm in the same boat. It's almost like I'm talking to my reflection.
How do I feel?
How do you feel? You said you didn't even reach out to anybody. You didn't even like.
So I got the text message. So I posted something on Instagram, that something about friendship and me getting comfortable with my friend after some time. And then someone texted me back and said, but you don't keep tabs on your friends. I'm like, shit. And I realized I've consciously began to realize that I suck at communicating, especially when I have like.
That's the big statement to make.
Yeah, especially when I have like. No, not communicating generally, but like calling. No, I prefer to call, but like texting, like me just picking. I could be with my phone all day.
Okay.
I'll think about you, but I might not text you. Do you understand? That's what I mean by like I suck at communicating with my friends. Like, oh, hey, how you doing? Because I feel like I like to mind my business. Do you understand? But like it also doesn't make sense to mind your business because they're your friends and you have to check up on them and all of that stuff. So I was like, this was my response. I mean, I respect the person for like letting me know that, oh yeah, you don't reach out to me, but I told her that I know I suck at communicating, but I will try to do better. Do you understand that type of thing? So yeah, it's bad.
That's my thing. Because when people say that to me here and there, my response to them is, look, at this point, I'm too old to making excuses.
It's not an excuse, it's just the truth.
I own the fact that me as a person, I mean, I can call you and check up for you, but I'm not the kind of person that would need to be talking to you every week, every 2 weeks. I don't feel the need to have like scheduled long conversations. I can hit you up and talk about something like 3 lines. Or we could get in contact with each other, and for some reason we just find ourselves discussing and all that. But each time I'll be like, look, I know that I'm not the kind of person to just sit down and just be texting you for. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I mean, the fact that you're complaining to me means that you probably won't do that to me, which I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
But at this point in time, we're not children. I'm your friend, Abby. So part of me being your friend is that you should know me by now.
And I respect the people that know me a lot. Like, yeah, people like Bumi, like Princess Booms. I don't know what name to use, but like, on like we fought about this thing. Like Princess is someone that likes, like constant communication, but me suck at it. So I was like, you know me, we have come a long way with being like a long way. You cannot expect me to like, or I don't know how to do this, and you know that I suck at this. So you be my, constant like, oh, hey, what's up, that type of thing. I don't know how to do all of that, but sometimes I do it, but when I do it, it's like once in a blue moon, and they're like, what do you want today? And I'm like, I don't want anything. I'm just calling to check up on you, and that's what I don't want. I don't want the fact that me calling you out of the blues is like, what do you want? I don't want anything. I just,
Mm.
randomly thought about you and I decided to actually give you a call today. And, like I've been in situations when that has been like, maybe like sometimes I want something, but it's not all the time I want something. I just want to just check up on you. And then it becomes awkward and then like, okay, bye. That's
But
very
the
awkward.
but the thing is, see, to me, that awkwardness can be very well escaped because it just tells me that, first of all, you're not being realistic. I'm not going to just magically, I could try and make a conscious effort. But if I'm me being myself and you notice that you've complained about this 6 times, 10 times, and it's still the same way I can now tolerate you hitting me up every time and decide to pick your call and not just say to myself, this person is texting me too much or this person is calling me too much. Or I said, why is the hat on my head looking like this? I just felt like, to be honest. I removed my skull cover. I was like, I want to put something on my head. So I just put some head. I'm just going to sleep like this. But anyway, I'm like, if I have accepted you for you, accepted you as a person that among it, because I have other friends that don't reach out to me, but the same.
Yeah.
And we understand each other perfectly. But if I can respect the fact that you being my friend, you have these traits of checking up on me constantly, most of the time I probably don't want to talk. And if I can accept that as who you are, and I can make myself pick up the phone, then you should be able to accept.
Like, I feel like the entitlement thing is real. But the fact that because we are friends, we have to talk like, how are you doing today? How are you doing tomorrow? I'm like, I get tired of the conversation. Like, I respect people, or I like friends that we've not spoken in like a month or two, but when we get on the phone or when we are talking, like there is a lot and there is like this back and forth, like, and it's all fun. But people that like you have to call every day, don't people get tired of like, how are you? I'm fine. What did you eat today? I'm like,
I don't even mind you calling. So at this point, I don't mind you calling constantly because I just said to myself, look, I'm going to be real with everybody. If I'm on the phone and I want to get to the phone, I've made a habit of being like, okay, I'm just gonna do this now. And then, okay, I'll use Ori as an example. Ori can be on the phone. And I probably even picked up that call, not even like talking to anybody. But because it's Ori, I pick up the call and have the conversation. And then I will literally tell her, I want to go and do this. It's like, but can't you do it? I'm like, I can, but I don't want to. I mean, I can, but I don't want to. What would piss me off and what just make that situation where and then it or I start complaining like, you didn't never want it. But that's just who I am. Let's not do this. I made a compromise by picking the phone.
Yeah, and I told you how I felt. Like, I really would love to talk to you, but right now I'm not feeling like.
And especially because I didn't even make the conversation that we had one that looked stressful and like I had a regular conversation and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do this. See, people just that entitlement thing and look, don't even get me started. I can enter it to my future. It's okay.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
I'm admiring that self-work behind you.
The what?
I'm admiring that thing behind you.
Oh, okay. This is where all my money has gone.
Yeah.
I literally see this thing is I don't even spend any money on myself apart from like when it's like necessities. I don't go shopping for clothes anymore. I don't go shopping for shoes anymore. I just like, oh, so what do we need to do indoor shoes? We need this, we need this, we need this. How much is it going to cost? How long do I have to save for it? Like, okay, what do I need now? My goal is to get stuff that I can use for videos and get stuff that I can use for outdoor shoots, which is like, God help me. That's all I have to say about my D&H cat right now is, God help me.
I don't know. I feel like that's one of the things that prompted me to get those lights.
Yeah, I can see them peeping in the
Yeah.
corner. Yeah.
I was just doing things. I let them. But guy, to get these lights, well, first of all, first of all, even at the point of me hitting, deciding to check out, it was already. I was like, I mean, just if that's one thing she likes to do is to encourage people to check out. But you're just like, yeah, let's check out. But I was thinking to myself, I always say that, okay, especially when I have my own place, I would literally have like to have like a studio, my place or my house or wherever I'm living or wherever I have, whether it means an apartment or a house, I actually have a room, a set of a studio where I can use. It's something I'll be doing today, amongst other things. But then I was like, why do I have to wait for the space to be there before I can like start to set it up in quotes? Because I mean, I don't need the space to start to get things that I need now. Why am I waiting to get to a certain point to start to get things I need now? Where I can even build. It's not like I'm going to get to that space and I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to carry all the money I'm spending on every single thing, and I can get
because then you are then choked with the expenditure. That makes sense. I didn't think about it like that. Because when you say it like that, I started buying my because like when I left Nigeria, I didn't come with any equipment. I came with just my camera and my strobe light. Those were the only things I had. I didn't have any lenses. I just like, let's go to film school without any equipment. And then sometime middle of last year, when I was trying to I was doing some introspection and retrospection and trying to figure out if photography was really for me, and deciding whether I wanted to go back or finally just put a stop to it because something happened last year, which I will go into later. And then kind of, I always go back to this. I started praying about it and trying to find direction on what to do next. And then that thing was just like, okay, start doing this photography, but I don't have money. You understand? I cannot afford to buy all this equipment. And somehow, some way, I got a job and I started, buying my equipment little by little until I got to where I had all this stuff. And then when I think about how much I spent on equipment, because now, before I didn't used to do this, I have a list of like an inventory of all my equipment. And when I see the total cost of money I spent in the last 6 months, I probably have bought the car, like cash down, of the choice of car I want, kind of. Do you understand? So
what car do you want to get?
If I say that, people do the estimate of how much I've spent. I'll text you. I'll text you. But yeah, so I would say I started buying it before I even found this place, before I even knew I was going to live in a 1-bedroom. I was initially looking for a studio apartment so that, because rent in Toronto is like crazy. I wanted to live in a condo because it's newer. And then I found this space, which is like older, and it's not my ideal living space, but like, I was like, things that we sacrifice for the growth of our businesses or where we want to get to or where we see ourselves going, we have to start doing it now, because if we don't do it now, there's no how, you can do it in the future if you don't start today. So that's how I started buying my equipment, and then I found this place, and then it was like, it's not like the ideal space, but it was still a space. Room is separate from the studio space, and then I can have people over. We do our shoots here because this is my work area, and then I can go into the bedroom and live my life outside of school or work. So that's kind of, yeah. So when you say it like that, I then think about how I did it and how I've gotten where I am. So that makes sense.
It's funny because even to confirm it, I watched, it's like a video popped up on my Instagram today. I was like, I think I put it in my story of this like moms talking, and somebody was one of them asked the other one the question. I was like, Just start. If you're waiting for the place you need to go to, if you're waiting, it doesn't work like that. Just start. All the people you see today, they didn't wait to get that big building or get that big space. They just started. They thought about it and they built up gradually. So just start.
I'll tell you, let me tell you about this funny thing now. Okay, so something happened to me in like December of 2019. I've gotten like the biggest gig of my photography career when I was in Nigeria, right? I was supposed to shoot this TV show for a week. And basically it was just like verbal agreement. We agreed a certain amount. No, the money was not the problem. Money was not the problem because I knew it was good for it because someone recommended me for the gig and I she was getting sponsors and I was like, okay, sure. I was going to shoot for 1 week straight. 1 week straight shooting. Count me in. At that time, I knew I was going to go to film school, so I was like, sure, I might as well just do this and have something to post on social media all of January of 20.
How long have you known you wanted to go to the film school?
How long have I known? I've known since 2017 that I wanted to go to film school, but I couldn't afford it at the time. In 2017, I actually went to my boss and said, what do I need to do for you guys to sponsor me to film school?
What did they say?
They said they started a GoFundMe for me. At that time, it wasn't good for GoFundMe, but they were going to start this like Adore where everybody would like donating money. But I knew it was all jokes at the time. But yeah, at that time I was working in an agency, so everybody was all vibes and inshallah at the time. So I knew as far as back then that I wanted to go to film school, but my dad had not fully gotten on board because he didn't see the seriousness. Do you understand? That time I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do in my life. I was like, maybe photography, maybe advertising, maybe. But then I knew that I wanted to do something, photography and film, or maybe just videos generally. And then fast forward to sometime in 2018, I think it was like New Year, Christmas or something like that. I can't remember exactly the situation. We were having this breakfast at my uncle's place and my dad was like, so do you still want to go to film school? You go and learn how to do all the directing and cinematography and I'll learn how to be a producer. I was like,
wait, who said that?
My dad. I was like,
wait, chill. So he's trying to learn how to be a producer.
Well, my dad is like a businessman generally. Like, you just want like that type of thing, how to do the business side of it.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Like producers are usually the ones that handle like resources and
all
that stuff.
So he's actually trying to do that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And then we were like, and then I look back because like this was not a planned conversation. It was just like breakfast, like Christmas, or because we usually do box. No, it was New Year. We usually do New Year's at my uncle's place. So that happened. We had the conversation, and then we were like, go and do research about schools that you want to go to. What are the options? What is the cost implication and all of that? So I, began my research, and end of 2019 or middle of 2019, I got accepted to Toronto Film School, which is where I'm currently studying film production. And yeah, that's my short summary of my film production journey. But I go back to my original story of my client. So basically, we're doing this shoot for 1 week, and we had wrapped up, everything was fine. We had agreed, okay, so payment was going to come in next week. This was supposed to be the week of before Christmas, or the Christmas week, basically. So I was planning to buy a hard drive. I had an older drive, and the files were on my laptop. And then I was going for this Access Bank event, end of year event with my parents and my siblings. And then I just go to try and do something on my laptop. I don't even remember. And then I realized that all my files are locked.
I feel like I remember that.
There's some type of, I don't know. I click on files. I'm trying to see, nothing is opening. It's saying something about Bitcoin. You have to transfer Bitcoin to unlock your files. Basically, like,
so was it virus?
I was hacked and all my files were gone. And this was a week-long shoot that the client hadn't paid for, and I was supposed to deliver.
So all the files on the shoot are on your system.
All the files of the shoot were on my laptop, and then unfortunately, my old hard drive, which I was about to replace, was connected to my laptop, and I had my files from my entire photography and video journey. My dad's 50th birthday was on there. I was the only one that had like the edited video files and the raw files, all the shoots I had done, all my planned Instagram posts for 2020, I think it was 2020. Like, like I literally had this thing scheduled. Everything was there. And then suddenly it was gone. Like, it didn't dawn on me on that night that I was gone, because I was like, maybe when I come back in the morning, everything will be fine. And then, I'm still uncomfortable, but, like, I have to change because we're going to party, we're going to turn up. So I was like, it'll be fine. I'll come back and see it. The next day, I don't check my laptop because, party, hangover, and all of that. And then 2 days before Christmas, the client reaches out to me and says, I'm trying to get the sponsors, like banks, big banks. I'm not going to name any banks. They're trying to get big bank sponsors and all of that. And I go to my laptop. I try to open my files and everything is just not opening. I try everything. I call everybody I know. Because fortunately for me, I had a few pictures on my phone from BTS that I had sent to my phone that I was planning to post. So I just sent that to her, like, oh, take this for now, and then you can go ahead with that for now. And then I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I reach out to everybody. I reach out to my uncles in IT, reach out to people that work with Microsoft, like people that I don't even know. Like, everybody's trying to get the images back. At least just get me this one so that I don't I was so scared, because then it wasn't about the pictures anymore. It was now about my reputation and the person that recommended me, right?
Oh.
And it was a terrible, at that time, I was sad, I was depressed. I struggled through Christmas. I was like, nah, this can't happen to me. I was like, and then thank God for my parents. I used all the money I had saved up from like my shooting in the year to try and, get recovery softwares, which were expensive. I literally paid for like 3 different. I spent about, only in Nigeria, I think I spent about 100 and something K trying to recover the files. And then I sent it I gave her my laptop, I gave her my hard drive, the client actually, my hard drive, everything to try and recover it, but there was nothing. And then I had to travel because school was starting. Not like I was running away from anything, but like school was starting. And I mean, I was spent all my money, I hadn't been paid. And I basically felt like, maybe this is not for me. God, what have I done? What have I done to deserve this? I tried to be good this year, basically. So I was literally at that phase of complaining. And then I came here, and then I didn't feel like shooting anything. I didn't feel like being in photography. Mind you, I'd already settled the client that, I'm going to do everything I can to cover the pictures. I've tried my best. I've done this. I've given you my laptop. I've given you my hard drive. I've given you all of these things to try and help in doing recovery. But I wasn't going to, because I couldn't afford to pay in Bitcoin at that time. This was, even at that time, Bitcoin was a lot.
Very much holding your files ransom.
Yeah, basically. So I was like, okay, so I came here and I tried to start again. It was hard. I wasn't interested in photography. I just wanted to learn why I came. I just wanted to know, like, do what I came here for, but just learn film production and like try and go on with my life, not minding photography anymore. And then the client reaches out to me and tells me, oh, can you send your SD card? And then we have this like real big argument. My dad had to quickly come in and like, because she was threatening to like arrest my parents and fine me and all of that stuff, which is like another major drama. Like I was like, I was done because I personally, I did feel bad because then now my reputation was at stake. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to work again in Nigeria because, you know, I was just basically really scared at the time. And my dad really came to me and was like, you know, you have tried your best, you know, you have done everything. And then I had to actually spend my own money, send all my SD cards from here to Nigeria, which was, you know, paying more than the price of the SD card to send it to Nigeria and all of that stuff, you know. It was really crazy. And then I came across this thing mid-year where I think there were these photographers who had been shooting for 10 years and their studio went up in flames. I can't remember where it was. Or I was watching a video like that. And they lost everything they had done for 10 years. Hard drives, computers, cameras, everything gone. And they said they saw it as a sign from God, start again. So that's when I started to figure out maybe this was actually a sign for a clean slate for me.
Interesting.
To begin again. And then I struggled with that beginning again, trying to find out, am I really made for this? Do I really have the skill set? I began to doubt myself, basically, even though I knew that I could do it, but you know, like there was that doubt, you know, when I lost everything. So I'm like, am I really supposed to be here? So then I started. And then we were like, oh, because I reached out to a couple of people on Instagram, photographers, even though it's hard right now to get mentors here or get people that are already in the industry. They were like, oh, your work is so good. I'm like, this is never what I'm trying to achieve. Like, I'm trying to, like even up the game some more to get. And then people were saying that, and then I started to feel a little more confident, like, okay, maybe it's good. Maybe there's something there. Maybe I can still do this. That's how I began again. I have a lot of work in the pipelines for Instagram and for posting right now. But yeah.
You say that's why I just saying, you know what?
I'm so happy with the
know it's coming. You know what's coming.
Current work. What?
I said, you know what is coming.
I know what's coming. You know what's coming as well. So yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
That's what's up.
It's happy that you're actually the second person I'm talking to that is telling me something along the lines of, I have so much in the bag that I haven't even released yet and it's itching me to release. I was talking to someone, I think it was Miss Sana I was talking to, and she was saying the same thing about like her makeup and all that. And there's so much work she has done and that she has done. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. We move.
Like, because people don't see the amount of work you have to do behind the scenes. They just see like, oh, and I try to avoid that social media pressure because it's a lot. I won't lie. You know, you see, like, because I follow a lot of photographers and, you know, and stuff. And then there's a lot of pressure to like post, do this. And then I see Salem King's post and says, take your time, even though you're lazy this year, you know, like there's is it knowledge or information now eating back and forth and then like contrasting. People are saying do this, people are saying do that. Like sometimes it's just like I'm not my own pace.
I noticed that. And this is that the ability to take your time is more of an opportunity to grow into what is yours, like grow into your own pattern of doing things, like master your pattern, decide on what works, and then grow into it. So I feel like a lot of, I know exactly what you're saying. Looking at, so you see some photographer pages and you're like, have to post constantly, make sure that even as I'm posting constantly, I have to keep a certain aesthetic of the page. Everything has to be this. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but that is such a cookie cutter template for every other photographer now. Like everybody follows that same notion. So the idea of okay, people say to keep doing this and this is the result, and then I just have to do sharp and do that. It leaves less room for creativity and less room for you to just do things your way. That's one of the reasons why even like my own page, or was asking me, even the idea of deleted it now, but the pictures I took of that girl on her birthday,
Which one?
and
The
I
one
posted,
you posted this
well,
last week?
and I posted, even though that picture it wasn't the plan, it was just me testing the lights I just bought and just making sure everything works. But I posted it, even I've deleted it now, but I posted it for just to kind of consciously break out of some mode of what I think my page should be. Consciously because of some mode of okay, if I want to have other things I want to post on my page that may not necessarily be of me, may not necessarily be personal, I have to have another page. If I want to do that, I have to have a whole other page for photography, have a whole other page for graphic design, and then try and follow some certain pattern of those individual pages. And there's no table talk. And I was just like,
You're becoming a community manager slowly. I
is
need a resume.
that a community manager? but but yeah, I was like, first of all, this is my page. First of all, second, I can post whatever I want to post. So I was like,
I mean, I feel like right now, sometimes I regret opening a personal page. I don't regret it 100%, but I think about like I could have just done everything on one page. I just have to arrange it whichever way works for me.
yeah,
And I think it's something that you can also implement where you have your, I mean, you're a visual artist generally. You have your graphic design, maybe your paintings. You just find a way to like demarcate it and like
yeah.
arrange it that when people go there, they're like, oh wow, even though you do different things, still looks good. Because sometimes
That's exactly my thinking. Like, I don't have time. I mean, the one for notable talk makes sense for me and it works. It makes sense and it works. And that's to that is almost an entity on its own. It's outside me in a sense. But I was like, look, I'll post it on to post my page. I always determine what order I want to post it to be that makes sense for me.
yeah.
I will look at it and be like, okay, this makes sense and I like it. Other than that, I'm not looking for any pressure of photography page or graphic design page or anybody. I'm not doing and I'm not doing any monochromatic thing. I'm not doing any pastel color thing. I'm not doing any
Pressure.
and look, I'll do what works for me because at the end of the day, I don't like go like four,
Now,
five video photographies. I'm like, it's all the same. There's nothing unique about. I mean, your work is nice. Everybody's work is nice too. There's nothing. Just go free me. I'm like, I don't. I'm going to do the shit how I want to do the shit.
I mean, whatever. I this year I've just become a little bit more selfish in a way, doing things for myself, or since last year, since COVID. Like after realizing that technically you're in this world by yourself, win or lose. The only thing that you probably have maybe is like family and stuff. But like I just started doing stuff for myself, things that make me happy. If I see like a relationship, or okay, maybe we're having a conversation over the phone and I feel like what you're saying is making me feel some type of way about maybe someone, or making me not feel good about myself. Do you understand? I just, zone out of the conversation and I'll be like, oh, I'll call you later or something like that. Because then I live alone. My mental health is 100% important to me, because there's sometimes, even living alone, sometimes I go into like a black hole of, I wish my parents were here, I wish my sister was here, I wish my brother was here, that type of thing. I wish I had family around, because then it'd probably be easier. It would take a little bit of the pressure off. but just doing stuff for myself for me to be able to live to see like, or for me to be able to feel better about whatever is coming, or feel good about myself. Not technically, like, not, how do I say this? Okay, I'm just going to rephrase it. Just feel good about myself, feel good about my life the way it is right now, and not feel the pressure from outside right now. So that's why I do stuff selfishly.
Yeah. I'm totally and completely and utterly and whatever other Lee you want to add on the train. Oh God. I was telling already the other day, I'm like, look, I don't know what it is, but it's almost like ever since I left school and I was able to step out of, but the first time in my life, I stepped out of somebody else putting in, even though I have a certain amount of input, but somebody else putting a sort of schedule on me, somebody else filling my time. It's not okay. It's not like me paying somebody to fill my time with with some pre-planned things. You get they set my timetable to an extent, and it's almost like ever since I just left school, something just anything that isn't like serving me, I don't have time.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I have little, like my patience for a lot of things has reduced a little bit. My patience for rubbish.
Yeah, it's like when you start, like, okay, so I was having a conversation with someone, and she was going off about, I was crying because this happened to me because I missed the bus. I'm like, you're crying because you missed the bus. I can't relate to that because I'm like, I feel, so nowadays I try and be, because people they used to complain that I'm a toxic friend, but me being a toxic friend in that sense, I like it, because then I'm like, I understand your wala, and I feel bad for you, but it doesn't make sense to me. And personally, if it doesn't make sense to me, I'm like, I understand, but just selfish. I don't know. And I'm scared. See, I'm honestly scared that it's going to affect my relationships. When I say relationship, I mean like me being in a relationship, right? I'm going to be very finicky and very picky about whoever I'm dating has to have like a certain level of self-confidence. You cannot just be like, because I have my own issues. We all have issues, but being able to like walk around those issues is good. And seeing that you're also working around them, seeing that you're trying to work to make it better, I'm all for that. But if I see that you're just like low self-esteem, not confident, always looking to people like to make your decisions for you. I've gone through that stage of life. I don't want it anymore. I want better now. Do you understand? I'm just like, okay, it was nice talking to you, but it could be.
It could be last. Oh shit.
It's just, No, this quarantine and living alone and this pandemic I won't lie, it has helped me grow and mature a lot from last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It almost even, even in the space of, like, I can see how I have changed on a very basic level across the span of periods in my life. I can narrow it down to across the span of 2 halves of my life. I can then even further narrow it down to across the span of corona and no corona, lockdown and no lockdown. Yeah. I can even narrow it to the fact to as recent as months apart. And I'm just like, only God knows what will be here in December.
Only God knows.
Or in January. But all I know is that whatever I'm saying, I'm liking it and I'm feeling it. I'm legitimately impressed with my. I look at myself from the outside. I'm like, keep going, continue,
Do it, man. Do
continue,
it. Yeah.
keep going. Because look, I don't have time, bro. I mean, I can. It's not even. It's it's even gotten to the point where I've even decided that I want to even let sentiment. Like I could love. Okay, fuck it. I want to even let sentiments hold me down and keep me unnecessarily bothered and stressed. Even if it means me putting it aside for a second.
Yeah.
Like even if I have certain issues that I know that okay, I might not necessarily want to forgo because my relationship with this person really matters to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I obviously I can't even think of cutting this person off totally, but I recognize that at the immediate present, things to settle, but I don't have the time to really sit down and settle because it would take a long time that we could be using to progress. So it's okay for each of us to take our time and calm down
Yeah.
and get to level that. As we're taking our time, we can move on, do other things, keep moving. And then when we're feeling like in a better way, like yo, what's up? Are you like okay, that becomes
Good.
and then we go from there.
Good.
But look, I can pause shit, I can hibernate shit, I can cut shit off, I can look if you're stressed, if anything is stressing, if anything is I just really don't have the time.
Cut it off. Stress enough for
I
me.
really don't have the time.
I like COVID is already stressing me enough. I'm not adding another stress to it. I'm like, honestly. Let me see. Okay, so I've going back to this friends issue, right? So when I say I don't have any friends, it's very one kind for me to say because I have a few people that I'll consider as my friends and people that I can go to and I can talk to and to just be smooth. But among those people, there are some traits that I see that I don't want to be like in my, how do I say this? I don't want it to rub off on me. Do you understand? When some traits include you talking about someone in a way that makes me hate the person when like the person hasn't done anything to me. Do you understand that type of thing?
Yeah.
Like basically all those. I don't want to say backbiting because then that's going too far. But like I get that you're just complaining and like airing your own opinion, but there's some things that you shouldn't say about someone. When I see you skewing towards that, age, and then I just begin to like, I think maybe it's time to, because like I said, mental health is important. And this person hasn't done anything to me. If you're making me, or you're trying to make me not like this person for what you're saying, or trying to make me choose sides, which doesn't make sense to me, I then begin to question what you say about me. And we fight. Maybe I have small issues. So those kind of things. And also I feel like a lot of people are younger than me. So I used to have this friend that used to say, don't talk to me with your adult voice. And this was like, it was like 6 months ago. Like, I'll just be like, I don't think you should be doing this. And then she just be like, don't talk to me with your adult voice. And like, okay. And then it's just like, it's one of those things that put a strain on our friendship, right? I have to talk to my adult voice because that's the stage I'm in. And I would like for my friends to also level up if I don't feel like, do you understand what I'm saying? If I feel like maybe like you have like self-confidence issues, I'll say stuff like, I think you start making decisions for yourself. And when you say that to someone like maybe like 21, it doesn't make sense because they're still living their best lives. Do you understand? But me, I'm getting close to 30. It's not a knock on it, but I cannot still be living my best life. This is not the time for that. Maybe when I reach like 35, I can go back to living my best life. You understand? But right now is also think like a mature adult, like have adult conversation, that type of thing.
But that in itself is not easy as it sounds. Like you, I mean, I get everybody says it. Everybody says you should normalize difficult conversations propagates better relationship. It makes sense. 1+1 = 2. But there are so many variables.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, is somebody willing to, because even in this journey, even in this whole topic of us saying if we are liking what we're coming on, we're seeing progress and everything, even though we still have our struggles, but we're seeing that we're on the right track.
Yeah.
One thing I've kept reminding myself is that I try not to be too blindsided and just keep seeing how I'm improving. To the point where somebody highlights something I need to work on, I can't objectively really search within myself and be like, if I really have this problem, and identify if I really have that problem and then work on it to get. There's something that is always at the back of my mind. But I forgot what I was trying to say.
It happens.
I forgot what
I mean, I can relate to the fact that you also have to still be objective in your, thinking. You have to.
Yes, I remember. Sorry, I remember.
All right.
So, it's in those difficult conversations being had, are you really willing to sit down and hear what you may not like about yourself? But yeah, you can't see it. But other people can see it. Are you willing to really listen and hear?
Funny thing
of this usually applies to me.
Funny thing is, I really like those difficult. I've gotten to a point where those difficult conversations of what is really not good about me, I like to have those conversations so that I can work on it, and it also helps me. Like I'm trying to be more forward looking and continue to grow. I'm not going to be one to knock you for saying, oh, I think you need to change this. And as I've been told, I need to improve on my calling and checking up on my friends. I know, 100% know. It's hard and I try, but you're now insulting me and, it depends on how the person approaches the topic for me.
Yeah.
Right? And then how we're able to.
I understand that completely.
Yeah, so like also I'm always open to what you think. If I think you have a valid point, then I'll for sure look at it. But if it's not objective, if you're just being petty and stuff, sorry, bye friend. Now you're not an acquaintance.
Anyway, did you watch last week back with Wande and Bonnie? I'm asking because Wande said something about I was asking. I want to know if you heard it.
I haven't seen that.
Okay. I'll let you watch it, and then
all right.
You give me your initial.
Is that something about me?
Yeah.
Okay. I was listening though. I was here. Oh, maybe before I came.
What did you hear?
I didn't hear anything about me. Maybe it was before I came. I think I joined late.
Let me share my screen, and then you give me your immediate thoughts after that.
Hopefully, it's good stuff.
I don't know whether it could be good or bad.
Any which way it has been said, I'm going to go for him if he says anything. If he says anything.
Let me try and share this.
Hey, gift. Hey, Oreos. Already like my mom.
All right. You can see my screen. Yeah?
Hey, Dorian. Yeah, I can.
Okay, okay, guys, we're all in sync, I guess. Okay, so now, the light governor now.
I actually really enjoyed last week. I can't remember.
Yeah, I probably should watch it back because I came in an hour late or something. I wasn't here for most of the.
I really enjoyed it. It didn't carry as much weight as I thought was when I edited the videos I took on Instagram and I was watching those videos back, especially the second one. I was like,
Yeah, like I watched back the leg analogy, the leg thing. I was like,
and then Bumi sent me this message. I was like, oh, I wanted to cry, God, because it just I'm just hearing of I appreciate things that just help me or encourage me to see what I see. Because Bumi was just she sent me a message in the context of thanking me for um if I say it vaguely and not to go into so much details, in the context of thanking me for seeing her. But what she didn't know that she was seeing me too.
yeah,
Because her like saying those things to me just confirmed to me what I'm doing.
yeah.
Confirmed to me how I see what I'm doing. I was just like,
Honestly, before we even go on, I have to. I mean, I didn't see notable talks because like we had like conversations before we even started like on Instagram and stuff. And at that time, I was going through a lot, and I used to look forward to notable talks. Like I think it was at the time it was when we first started. I think it was like every day or every other day, and then it became Mondays and Thursdays, and then it
yeah,
became only Thursdays. I used to literally look forward to it because I mean that was the only time I could like laugh and then see people that I actually knew. Because at that time I was in the middle of like a serious quarantine and I was going through a lot of depression and missing my family and all of that stuff. So it did help me get through that phase and has also continued. It's kind of like a therapy session for me. Do you understand? Just having people that I know, listen. Because normally I've been able to see you guys if we're in the same place. And then there would be like, we'll have these conversations. We basically I've seen at least once or twice, at least, I'm sure. So, but yeah. Let's watch the video.
I'm happy to hear that. You have no idea.
Yeah. I'm happy for the progress, definitely, because we have actually come a long way from where we started.
Yeah, I mean, in certain sense, I don't even think I've gone anywhere. But if I'm being objective, and if I'm looking back, I can see how as little as the progress is, how big it is, and also how certain decisions I have made, whether to catch up or like just certain modifications I've made, how it has helped leading to these points and how just encouraging me in looking at other modifications I want to make. That's how I'm trying to continue. But yeah. I mean, yeah, let's continue.
Let's go.
There you go.
Yeah. So now that video was like what do you want to I don't know if you can see right now. Just one of the people that situated when you see the person like I feel like it's so characteristical because she like she shows much of the spirit. Exactly. To people to his family. I'll say his family and people involved. It's mostly just joke, like his joke, laugh. Exactly. You don't really know what to expect. Like I don't know what I'm making expect to talk like that. But he can't right. Man. Every single video I post. Let's not be bang out. Let's be bang out. You can every single video. Now, you can take with me when I had when I go. Yes, sir. You have to that that's just so simple. Well, when I had that, I understand. Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So, the very way I think what I needed that was very good. What I needed that was good. Now, for those
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh,
What are your thoughts?
wow. Wow. I remember when one day was coming up, or OBA, as it likes to be called.
I'd like to record.
Well, I knew it when he was wearing Pampers, I beg. I knew, so I remember when one day was coming up with, the idea of like a YouTube channel, we're talking about it. This was like a little while before I left Nigeria, before I knew I was going to come to Canada. At that time, I was just super excited that someone was actually going to actually start doing a YouTube channel, right? Because I always wanted to do a YouTube channel, and I haven't figured out what to make my channel different, right? And then I would like to bring my personality too, but that's by the way. I remember when he like put up the idea, I had like a few things, suggested, and then we made, one of the first videos we made was the one where we had the spicy noodles challenge. And
in your kitchen.
In the kitchen, yeah. I was so pained after we lost. Like there was one video that never made it to YouTube that we did. The games night, the last night when I had all my friends in the house.
It's funny because we talked about that when
I was so sad. Like
you know what's even worse? The fact that the videos were on my phone.
Yeah.
And I tried to, me and I were talking, I was trying to send it to her, we just couldn't make it. For some reason, it just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't upload anywhere. But for some reason, it just wouldn't want to leave my phone. So that videos had to unfortunately do.
Yeah, but that's like, yeah. So like we had like different conversations, and because I'd seen a lot of YouTube, I consume a lot of YouTube content because I was then trying to, develop myself. And I shared some of the ideas I had with one day, and seeing him start his channel, wanting him to grow, and genuinely just loving, because I love that family. I was like my uncle and my aunt, Princess. Princess is like my twin that would never like came from a different mother. That type of thing. That's the kind of relationship we have, right? So, just wanting to genuinely see him grow, and seeing him grow from like maybe like 500 followers to something K in like a few months is just, it's like
it's impressive.
It's impressive. Like, I'm super proud of him for how far he has come. And I didn't stop posting. I just went off social. Like for a while, I was off social media because I was dealing with my own personal issues, like growth and personal pressures from Instagram. So that's why, because I literally will have people respond to me posting like those short clips, and it got some people like, some of my friends were like, this guy's trying to kill his dad, like, how did he do this? Like all of that. I got those kind of DMs at the time when I was posting, and I was just, happy that people could also, jump on it. And that's why I did it. I wasn't even doing it for anything. I was just doing it because I genuinely like the content. And I know the family, and I know they are ridiculously funnier than what you guys see on YouTube, or because I literally grew up with these people, right? Like it was at a point my family we used to see every Friday. That's how it was. So every Friday in our house was like games night at their house. Do you understand? And then for a while they had to go abroad for school. At the time I was in Bangkok, and but one thing I love about them is no matter how far or how long we don't talk for, once we get back together, it's like we just pick up. And this is one of the things I value the most, like being able to pick up from wherever you left off, regardless of how long we haven't spoken for. So that's what it was for me, just genuinely loving his content. And I just, sometimes I literally would just, every time, no, this is no cap. Every time I watch the videos, I'm literally rolling, laughing. I'm like, shit, like, how can you do this? How can you do this? And I just genuinely love it.
Hilarious.
That's yeah,
Hilarious.
that's what it is, hilarious.
They're funny, man. They're very admirable. It's funny because I think even me saying they're admirable, it's not like I can sit down and say their goals, not with the lens of oh they're perfect, whatever they show is perfection, or whatever they show is all that goes on in their house, there are no issues and no whatever. Even me knowing some of those issues makes me even say their goals even more.
Yeah.
Because it makes me even appreciate how tight-knit they are and how they ride and die for each other and how involved they are in each other's lives. It's
Yeah.
very admirable. Not everybody has that. Not everybody.
Like knowing also like me personally being there and knowing like a lot of things that happened to them and them always coming together as a family to create such amazing content to entertain everybody is like wow. I personally feel, this is my personal opinion, I feel like one day doing this as kind of
True. This guy. This guy. I wish I had water. I was about to sit to that shit yesterday. I see it. This guy. You just spoke a word. I can't even lie to you. I can see how this YouTube channel has. I will go as far as saved them.
Yeah, like some things I cannot see, right?
Yes.
It has done so much for the family. In like, I know like their children are like they're close knit, like there's that bond, but like just the fact that I started this channel, I feel like that's strengthened them as like stronger, stronger than ever.
Yes.
And that's one of I'm just like I being able to relate with the real life of these people and like seeing their struggles and all of these things and they're just like it's like wow, that's how I feel. Like every time I watch a video and I'm just like sometimes I'm not on Instagram, but it's like I just go on his page to see if like there's a new video because I know he used to drop a new video every Sunday, and then I think he started doing Sunday and Wednesday. Because I was also like when he started this thing, I was just like, also one thing I have to consider is consistency, right? I mean, you don't have to drop every day like all these YouTubers that drop like videos back to back. Drop stuff that you love. Drop stuff that you know that even if they are not going to pay you money, that tomorrow you can still continue doing this. And it was like, sure. And I one thing I respect about One Day is always down to take advice, always down to grow, see how he can improve himself. Like sometimes we just like randomly jump on the call and we talk about, oh, what's the next edit going to be like, or what is the next thing? How do you go from where you currently are? We usually have those conversations and seeing them come to life is just like wow. So much like I have no words for like if I continue, I'll just continue talking about it. Yeah, that's what it is for me.
I'll just because I didn't think I'd heard it if I didn't watch the video. I was like, yeah, I think English and it's funny because a couple minutes after he said that, just like now came in and I typed in the comments. So like, hey, Inka missed him saying
that. I missed it. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
I thought it was necessary for you to hear.
Thank you. I'm probably going to go watch the video back again because that's nice.
I enjoyed it. It was nice. I liked it. Same the one day gave us TED Talk for almost 2 hours.
Why do you like to talk to the camera?
I imagine him editing the videos they shoot in the house.
No. One day he loves the camera, in my opinion. It was made for the camera.
Imagine. I'm glad, man. I'm glad I asked them to come and I'm glad I had them.
I think it was one of my favorite TED Talk notable talks.
It was nice. I'm glad that like I have a circle of friends and family that are doing things.
Man. Yeah, I mean, seeing everybody, wanting to grow and wanting to level up, it just shows me that I can, no matter how tough it is, I have to just keep moving. I have to keep pushing. Because I remember, I remember one time, I can't remember what. Okay, when I posted my music video, when I said Princess of Mumi, I don't know, Booms. I'm just going to call her Princess for this. when I posted my music video on Instagram, because Princess knew, like, so I was at a point I was feeling very bad, feeling very depressed, and I literally called Princess, and I never told anybody this. I called Princess, and I was like crying on the phone. I was like wailing and all of these things, and she literally just prayed with me and just stayed on the phone with me and just listened to me cry and rant and about all the things that I was going through and all of that. And I really appreciate her for that, being a strong support system, right? A lot of people don't know why. I mean, no matter how annoying she can be, she's always that, strong support for anybody. Once she loves you. Bruh.
I love it. I'm seeing a pattern. I'm seeing a pattern emerge. I've seen a very strong pattern emerge because I told her the same thing. I told her I think I'm positive. And I know one day it just seen a pattern of her playing that role in multiple people's lives. I mean that I had the privilege to also help to play that role in her life. Because almost like I'm giving back to her what she gives to everybody. And I'm like, we all feed each other in some sense of the word.
Yeah.
We're all feeding off each other and I don't know. It's nice.
I think that's one of the things I love most about Notable Talk is all the people that started this, we've kind of, I would say we've kind of like grown into like the family of people, even though we don't talk every day or like we don't text every day, but when we do get together, there's just that Thanksgiving dinner vibe. Like everybody's just like, how have you been? What's happening? There's this banter, like this uncle that you love so much that you miss, and you're coming for each other, and like there's all of that thing. Or those things, sorry, God, what's wrong with language? Yeah, it's like that bond is just like, it's something that it makes me always want to come back, even when I'm not like on and just listening to everybody talk and going through the comment section and like it's vibes, and I love it. That's all I can say about that. It's just.
Right.
This family has helped me out through a lot. Yeah.
I love it. Now we know what I'm looking forward to actually.
You know what?
I'm looking forward to. It's exciting now, but it's also making me sad in a way. When I think about this one and my sister, I was like, I love Bisola. Love Bisola. Like I'll do anything for her. And she's my sister. I don't know stuff about her obligation. Like she's literally a cool person to me.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm excited to the fact that even though we have a relationship, there is an aspect of our relationship that we have not tapped into. Because we've hardly been in the same physical location for a certain period of time. Because I know once that happens.
Oh my God! I think there's this time when I think it was me and this one were talking about, Toby being in the same place, and at the time, okay, so let me tell you this funny thing. So there's this funny plan at some point in my life where I was going to go to film school in America, and all of us were going to be in the same place, and there was such a plan. But I'm just And then thinking back on that and all the things, all the ideas that we had that we shared at the time, it was just like, 12 in the same place would just be like creative catastrophe.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to that because Bisola is a vibe.
I look forward to it.
She is a vibe. She's the best friend I've ever had.
Mm.
If I can say it, because okay, so I'm going to talk about Bisola a little bit right now because at my lowest year, I was at like
I got you. Hold on.
lowest. Yeah.
Hold on.
All right.
Hello? Hold on, I'm coming.
All right.
I'm just calling her on the phone.
What?
I said, because I'm supposed to tell my auntie something, but I'll just call her on the phone.
Okay.
Perils of doing shit like these kind of things you have to face. Yeah, do something entertaining for us now.
Like what? See, I see. So something happened. I don't usually get a lot of views on my Instagram stories, right? And then one day I was just dancing like.
All right, we're back.
All right.
Yes.
And then I was just like accidentally dancing, and then that video has the most views. Like when I go to my what's it called? What's that thing called?
You're on Instagram.
Yeah, there's a.
Yeah, that's
my Instagram. My Instagram is a business account, so I can see all of the trend and spikes and all of those things. So I think I don't remember what it's called. I don't remember what it's called. No, it's not algorithm.
Which page is it on?
No, I didn't post it. I posted it in my stories.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's where you're preparing for the shoot.
Yeah, like when I was preparing for my shoot, and then the other day when I was in the snow, when I said I did it again. Like those two videos have the highest views on my. So I'm thinking about just being stupid every time in my IG stories, but we'll see about that. Yeah. No entertainment this night. I thought you were going to dance for us. I put on my on my story that you're good to dance for us, but it be things.
But yeah, what were we talking about?
I was about to give you a brief bio to my friendship with Bisola.
Yeah.
I was saying I would say at my lowest point, when I had friends, but like I wouldn't say we had like a significant relationship at the time. Me and Bisola became friends, and she was such a good support system for me at that time because this was when I was in like 200 level, I think.
200 level. That's a long time ago.
Me and Bisola have been friends a long time.
That's a long time ago.
Like sometimes I think about how we became friends. It was such a big lie. It was such a big lie.
Hello? Yeah, no, that it's go on.
Honestly, I said it was such a big lie. Why? Because we were playing pretend friendship. Because I can't remember what happened, but I think
I know. Weren't you guys even trying to start a YouTube channel?
we were. No, that they're not going to come to life.
I don't remember that randomly.
We did. We shot a few clips.
Oh my god.
We did shoot a few clips, which were vibes. Like at first, when she lost all the hair on her head, not lost, but like cut it off. Yeah, I have it somewhere. I don't even know where it is. But yeah, I still have it.
This life.
I think so.
This life. One thing that I know, I honestly I see a community growing, to be honest. I know that one way or the other there will be a number of us that are connected in some way, even if we aren't necessarily in the same vicinity. But at least there will be a certain network or community of us. And I see a lot of assets in that community, to be honest. And it's nice. It's cool stuff. I look forward to it. I look forward to everybody playing. Everybody.
So I'm going to talk about Control Central.
What?
Control Central.
Control Central. Oh. You know what's funny? I even saw the group. I thought about the group the other day.
I think at the time, the way I saw Control Central was I saw it as being something like what Notable talks as grown to become. That's what the idea I had in mind. But like I feel like people had a different agenda for it. You get what I mean?
What kind of agenda?
Like it wasn't. Let's say agenda. I mean, everyone has an agenda, but like it wasn't. How do I say this? I'm trying not to. I'll just say it didn't achieve the vision I saw it possibly achieving. That's what I'm going to say. Because there was.
I don't know. I feel like it served its purpose. I mean, I feel like I appreciate it for the fact that, if anything, for the simple fact that when all of us are in the same vicinity, which most of the time is in church, when we're in Nigeria, in church, we just know that, okay, these are my people.
But could we have a relationship outside of church? Think about it. Did we
not as a collective whole, but individually to certain degrees?
Individually, yeah, but
I feel like individually to certain degrees, and I feel like people that are mature enough recognize that and respect it. Respect the fact that there's a certain sense of relationship as a whole, but there are certain relationships, there are certain carcasses in inside that have their different dynamics and have their different. I can see how it's most of us. Let me just say most of us. Most of us recognize that and respect it, and don't try to force what is in there. To be honest.
Enough of Control Central.
I feel like at the time, especially when we were really involved, I feel like it served its purpose in the sense that it helped us be accountable to an extent. Accountable maybe not to each other, but to the unit in general. Especially because we have somebody like Uncle Olumide and Sibioda and these other people that were aware that, okay, these people are a unit in some sense.
Yeah.
And so it was almost like they indirectly oversaw us, you get. And we also understood that we played certain roles in our community, which was church. We played certain roles and we played certain we're there for certain reasons. We were there for even though it was never said. We had this unsaid image that we all felt we needed to uphold
Mm-hmm.
in a certain way.
Yeah.
So I feel like it helped. And I think it still helps because at the end of the day, if anybody's talking about one of us, it would be those people that are usually sitting up there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Yinka that is always with Bisola and Koida and Bumi and Tomiwa and Fisa. I've never seen Tomiwa in a hot minute, man.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Pope, Dolapo, Pope,
But the love, I like, like sometimes I just like sit down and think about everybody. It's like just it is what it is, man.
Yeah, it is what it is. That's right. I'm happy to say everybody. I'm happy. No, I'm seeing Nonya on Instagram video. I'm like, okay, no, yeah. Because I bet Nonya, and who would have thought?
Mm.
Who would have thought?
And like the fact that she took these like things seriously, I think when she first started working out, I was like, oh, I didn't know that she had this end goal in mind, but like, when she started working out, I was like, I'll go off. Why not?
I didn't know if she was working out to things like this.
Like, just we text, like, it's like she's one of the people that like I deserve a knock on my head for not texting because we used to text a lot. But yeah. There's also the problem of time difference, and I'm going to give that excuse. There's the problem of time difference. So it is what
shit, at this point, it is what it is, to be honest.
I mean, I wish we had like all of us had like better like ways to communicate. I wish we did, but you know, sometimes when you want to talk, that's when it's like middle of the night in Nigeria. Like I have these moods where I'm like, oh, I need to talk to someone, but in Nigeria it's like 2 a.m. Do you understand? And then when it's like during the day, I'm either in class or trying to like put my life in order, that type of thing. So it's that's a lot.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. Let's round up because I'm supposed to take food to my uncle.
All right.
That's the whole conversation I was doing in the middle of.
All right.
Yeah. I should probably go and do that so that somebody is not watching race for this and getting hungry. But anyway, guys, thanks for today, man.
No, Allah. This was an ambush, though.
It
was an ambush.
It was an ambush. I literally texted you today.
Yeah, I mean, like, so I was trying to do the when you texted me, and I said yes. I tried to do the Instagram thing, the timer thing, and I realized that this was literally like a 5-hour time to. But this, like, oh my days.
It's funny because but the way I usually, or the way I like to, or I have decided I want to be asking people now is, it just pops into my radar during the week or the weekend before, or just whatever. And I try not to rush it, even if it's the day off. And like, if I don't feel like there's a person I want to talk to, or if I have any questions to ask anybody, I'm not going to pause it or ask just to fill up space to get. I would wait. And I woke up this morning still having I somebody crossed my mind yesterday. I texted him. Apparently the number I had of it, but his number that I had, he doesn't use it anymore. So he didn't see that message. And then this morning I texted him on Instagram asking what was going on with his number. And he sent me a new number. And then even at that, I was like, I really don't feel like, I mean, I still want my guy, but I'm just not feeling it anymore again. But I was still willing to go through with it. But then he was like, oh, that unfortunately he has something to do, but he will do it that next week. No one. I was like, cool. And then I didn't know who to ask again. I was running through people in my head. I was like, well, I just went on my day. And then he pumped him. I was like, oh, let me ask Inka. Let me ask you.
I didn't even know what I was saying yes to when I said yes. I was like, shit, set up. A bunch of us. Because then I just watch people like talk and listen and then we banter back and forth. I was like, I mean, and then when he said it was only me, I was like, oh my days, this is a setup. Yeah. It was good. This felt like a normal phone conversation for us.
Yeah.
It was like,
honestly, I didn't want to put any pressure on myself to come to schedule a certain discourse or conversation, except it's something that's popped into my head, or I feel like, okay, this is going to be something I want to ask this person or talk to this person. But other than that, I have an idea of where I might want to start the conversation if it gets stuck. But I'm just like, whatever happens. That's why I may never even be like, I may never formally be like, hello everybody, welcome to Notable Talk. Introduce yourself.
Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Notable Talk.
I'm not doing that.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe. Click share if you want to click share and here, and then link in the bio.
Link in bio. Man.
This little this red button.
Where's
it? Anyway, you see it. It's funny because even with the idea of me saying to myself that I'm a YouTuber, I was like, I'm not a YouTuber, I just do certain videos that pop up on YouTube. I was like, yeah, look you.
You're a YouTuber. You're YouTube and you're YouTube.
Look you, YouTuber. You don't have to say, yeah, welcome to my channel.
Welcome to my channel, Because you still do, even though you don't say like, share, subscribe, you still post on Instagram, go check out this new video. You're definitely a YouTuber. I didn't know Gift was married. Gift, you're taking.
Maybe I'll go as putting YouTuber on my bio. Social media.
See your resume.
It's actually my resume, looking. I put this in my resume.
Really?
Yeah, I put this in my resume, when I know something that somebody can be like, let me see what this is, and they can be like, huh.
Okay.
Okay.
There's no sauce here.
This guy, I'm going to give my uncle for that before. I think somebody on the zip of it.
All right.
Everybody that watched and liked and commented and everything, I appreciate you guys. Inka, thank you for tonight. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me on here.
No wala.